Well, here I am in my virtual reality. What you're seeing now, you're seeing through my headset. So, in a way, it's like wearing a GoPro in virtual reality. And right now, I'm sitting in my desk chair in reality, my desk chair in my office. So, as I swivel around in my desk chair, I can see my virtual reality room in Oculus. This is my home room. Um, what's interesting about this home room is that they give you options to change the look of it. Um, but I'll get into that in a few seconds. What I have in front of me are my two controllers, one on each hand, and you can see they turn into hands. Um, they disembodied from from the rest of me, but they work. They're tracked with a headset, and so that's important for movement. Now, uh, each controller has about three or four buttons, including a thumbstick and a trigger. So, and the thumbstick can also serve as a button too. So, there's quite a few buttons that you have to learn, and each app or each game, the buttons purpose changes. So, it's quite a learning curve if you want to get involved with all these games. Now, because I'm wearing a Rift S headset from Oculus, um, it's attached to my computer with a cord, with a cable. And so instead of spinning around in my swivel chair, I think it's better for me to use the controller thumbstick to turn around. Otherwise, I'll get tangled up in my uh, chair with a cord. Um, now, this home, uh, well, let me move away. Now, to move away from your position, you just use the thumbstick. So I'm moving away now. I'm going to move more into the center. And if I move my swivel chair, as I'm doing now, my real chair, you can see there's a blue border, and that'll change to red if I move even closer to it. That means I'm getting close to the wall of my office, my real office. So they give you this boundary, or what they call a guardian. Let's see if I can, you could see it as I turn around. It's not such a big space. Um, because my office, my real office isn't that big, but with Oculus, you can get a bigger space like a gym and have a bigger boundary or guardian. You set that up at the beginning, uh, and Oculus headset will remember it. And you could set it up in different rooms, and it'll remember the different rooms. So it just takes a few seconds to set it up. You point this blue laser beam coming out of your controller at the floor, and you just draw it basically. Anyway, I'm going to push myself away from the boundary. So my swivel chair, my real swivel chair, so I don't bump up against that blue and red boundary. Um, Yeah, so this is my Oculus room, and this is where I come to as soon as I put on the headset. Um, my starting point in virtual reality, and like I said, they give you plenty of options to change things around. For one thing, recently I added that TV monitor up there, and I can show videos on that, movies and whatever. But I wouldn't do that in this room because it's too light, and you can't change the lighting in this room. So I'm going to take that monitor off and maybe put up a painting similar to like that one over there. I used to have a painting there, but I figured I'd put up a screen. But now, one thing you can do, like I said, is move. And as I go up the stairs, there's a visual sensation of you climbing. Boom, boom. So that's a nice effect they have. And in this in this template, this chateau, it came default with this mountainous background, and you could change the template and or the background so that it's different. Some people make their home room so that there's like a cityscape out here. Uh, but I kind of like this chateau mountainous view. Um, Now, I'm sitting down in a swivel chair in my office because I tend to get dizzy as I come to the edge of virtual heights. So now, in this case, I can't go off the edge of this patio. Watch. Whoa. See, it stops you. I'm moving my thumbstick to turn around, and I'll go back a little and turn around. Now, you can't pick it up, but they have a breeze sound in here, out here, so that you could hear the breeze going on, which is sort of nice. And originally, when I started, they had an ambient music going on in the chateau, and I changed it. You get sick of it after a while, so I changed it, and I just figured out the other way how to turn down the sound so I don't hear it at all. So that was a nice thing to learn. Okay, now in this Oculus room, uh, to change things, there's a button on your left uh, controller, which I just pressed. And this is the main menu for the Oculus room to change things around. And if I click inventory, you can see all the things that you can pick here. You go through these menus, and uh, you can see the objects, the decorations, like um, the walls and the different options you can change. Um, there's the gun that I recently added. And to take a photo, you click this. I don't know if you saw me do that. There's a little icon here of a camera. So you pick it, you choose it with your controller with that blue beam, and you squeeze the trigger on the controller, and it comes up with this camera. And I think if you you move the swivel stick from the left to right, and it goes from a selfie, which is taking an image of yourself. That's my avatar in this Oculus room. If you were to come into this Oculus room, or I was to go to another Oculus room that was public, they would see me as this. Um, Notice how my mouth moves when I talk. It's pretty good tracking. I flip the thumbstick, so now I could take a photo, and they give you little hints on this controller apparatus, so that it tells you what to take the photo. You squeeze the trigger, and by default, it saves it on a folder on my office, my real office computer. Um, and there's a button here. It shows you to close the camera. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, like I showed you just now, it's easy to take a photo, but to take a video, I learned, is not easy. In fact, I don't think you can do it. Uh, that's why to show you this video of my virtual reality experience, I had to find out on YouTube how to do it. And it involved using a utility from Oculus, a utility program, and then downloading a second program and setting it up. Um, I don't know why they make it so complicated, but they do. So there's that. Let me close this temporarily. Now, like I showed you just in that menu, here's the gun I added for home protection. You reach down, you squeeze the trigger on the controller. Now you see that clay head over there. If I aim carefully, got him. So if I had I'm using my controller to back up, but if I had an intruder, he'd be dead, more than likely. Now, if I maneuver around and get closer, I can reach out. Once it highlights, I can squeeze my trigger, grab it, drop it in place. So there's that. Because you don't want to leave your house a mess. One thing nice about a virtual room like this is you don't have to dust it. No vacuum cleaner, nothing like that. Um, Now, as I showed you before, you can't go off the edge. And you see that post here? Boom! You can't go through the post. But for example, you see this chair here? I could try to go through this little narrow space here, but I can go right through it. It's a little disconcerting because you feel like you're going to bump into it. But there's that. Now, this mirror here is not your ordinary mirror. So let me go up closer to it. And I'm sitting down, so it's going to drop down automatically, just like that. Okay, there's my avatar again. Now, I'm a lot more handsome than that avatar, even without my hair. But they give you all sorts of options here to change the face. I guess this is the facial color. And you can wear hair, mustache. You just squeeze it with the trigger and you change things. Uh, you know, but I don't spend a lot of time doing that. And then, yeah, so that's how you change your avatar. And like I said, if I were to invite somebody in here, that's the way they would see me. Or if I were to go to a public uh, room, that's the way the people in the public room, their avatars would see me. Now, if I bring up that menu again, and I'm using my controller, uh, pointing to it and using the trigger to select these. If I select preferences, movement, one interesting note is to notice how I move with the thumbstick. I just push the thumbstick forward, or I move the thumbstick back. But that's not the default way to move. When you open up Oculus Home Room, you move this way by default. So it's called teleport, and that's a common way to move in a lot of virtual reality games and experiences. So you would push the the thumbstick forward, for example, and you could see there's like an arc with a blue circle at the end of the arc, and you point it to where you want to go. Let's say I want to go to where that clay head is. I point and then I let go, and that's where I am, near the head, and the menu comes with me. But I was in a public room, uh, and there were other avatars in the public room, and there was a little avatar moving around with a smooth walk, like the way I am now. And we were all moving around the teleport way. And somebody asked the little avatar how he got to move around with a smooth walk. And so he pointed to this menu option. Turns out he was a 6-year-old. I thought that was sort of cute. These young kids uh, know more about the options than certainly I. So that was sort of interesting. Um, Moving back, going to places. Now, this is my home. I'm pointing to it with my blue uh, laser beam with my controller. We turn around. I just moved myself because my menu was cutting into the furniture. But I made a second home uh, just to experiment. And I want to visit it real quick just to show you a couple of differences. Um, I'll click on that. And if it's a dark home, but if it was lighter, you could see it in this black area here. There's some blue up there you can see. But to visit the home, you click on this, visit. So let's do that so I could show you the difference. Okay, you can see this is quite a different template for a home. Um, Now, if I bring up that same menu, I'm in home two before I was in home one. This is my second home. And you see that I just use my thumbstick to maneuver myself there. But you see out there that blue, instead of the mountains, you have this, I don't know, outer space look. But there's some kind of blue arc out there. And if you point to this menu, notice this menu has this additional option for lighting, which my home room, my original room, doesn't have. But this has it. So if I take this here and you could see as I move the cursor, I could change the brightness of that room, of that arc out there. And there's these other options. I'm not going to go through them all. Let me close this temporarily. Most of these options with these buttons, it works on like a toggle. So if you press a button and it turns out to be something you didn't want, you just press the button again and it disappears. These are the couple of items I added, to this, similar to the way, inventory, you go through all that. I added just these items just as an experiment to see. Now, one of the things they did add as a template to this particular room, moving my thumbstick on my controller, are these portals, and I've seen them in other public rooms. Keep in mind, I've made my both rooms private, so only people who I invite can come in. Whereas the public rooms, anybody can go in. Uh, you set it up that way when you make the room. But these portals, I've seen them in public rooms, and I always wondered how they did it, how they got them. But I think Oculus just offers it as part of a template. I don't know how, but this particular room came with this circle of portals, and as you get close to it, you can change the option. And I've only changed one of them. I changed this one. So the other ones are blank, but this one I changed. And it just takes a couple of minutes to change it. Um, but I changed it so that I can go back to my original room. Um, you could change these others to go to other rooms as long as they were public rooms. Uh, if I bring up that menu again, in other words, uh, if I click this uh, menu here, to get back to my room, I would bring up this menu. I see my two rooms. Currently, I'm in this room, the second room or home, and I would click on this home, and then I'd click visit to go back. But instead of doing that, I could just click go now. Now, you can't just go zooming with your thumbstick uh, like a real portal should work, but because you get stopped. That would have been cool if you could just go straight into it, but you have to press the button here where it says go now, and then you'll go back to your, in this case, home one. That's what we'll do. And this is the default position every time I come into VR and Oculus. This is the spot they put me in my home room. I don't like it too close to the fire. If you get close, I don't know if you can hear it. You can hear the flames. It's sort of a nice effect. Of course, you don't feel the heat because it's not real fire. Now, if I bring this up again and I go to places, um, and I pick popular. Now, these are the public rooms. These are rooms that people have set up that they allow other people to go to. And some of them have done a very nice job with them, and they're pretty popular. Um, haven't visited all of them, but let's just go to one of them so you could see the difference. Now, I click the view, and it's a dark part of the house, so you don't see it that clearly. But to visit it, you click this. Now, in this public room, there might be other avatars in here. Yeah, there is. There was. Yeah, there is. There's somebody standing right there. See, he waved, and so he's standing on. But this is different, whole different look. I'm recording. That's why I'm talking to myself. He disappeared. Hello. You see, you could talk to another avatar, and this guy here is talking to me.
I'm just another avatar. Yeah, you're right.
No, you're more than that. You're more than that. So,
Oh, that's kind of thank you.
yeah. So,
Do you enjoy the view? I like the view.
yes, this is a nice. They did a nice job here.
Yeah, it's a nice place to chill and meet someone who tell you that you're just an avatar.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, so yeah. So you're not from America, right?
I'm not. I'm French.
You're French.
I am.
So you meet people from all over the world if that's what you're into. Now, I'm going to just keep going. Nice talking to you. Well,
Yeah, nice talk. See you later.
okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time in here, but you could see the basic. There's the same fireplace, and they added this little gnome here, whatever it is, a fairy.
Strange man.
Very clever. So some people are very talented with this stuff, uh, and so there you go. I'll bring up that menu again. Places. See if I can do this. Visit home. Go back to my original home. I'm back to my original home, to my original spot, my original home. And so here we are. There's one last thing I wanted to show you. Now I'm going to leave the home, the Oculus home, and we're going to go into an app. But to do that, I have to bring up the library. So I'll click on a certain button on my left controller, and for some reason it brings me into my office. And I don't know if you'll see it, but it's a, a uh, gray background, and it doesn't last very long. And that was augmented reality. Or you might have seen a completely black um, background. I don't know how this thing records, but I see a gray augmented reality for a few seconds. Uh, Not virtual reality, augmented reality. in any case, this in front of me, um, I don't know if you'll see it, but it's the dashboard or options or menu, however they call it. I don't know. And I already have selected the library. This is my library. Most of these I got free. Some of them I paid for from Oculus. Uh, I'm going to try not to pay for any of these again because I find that I'm not coordinated enough to play most of the games. You have to be quick, and I can't handle heights, as I mentioned before, which involves uh, going up mountains and whatever. And I can't even solve a lot of the puzzles. A lot of games have puzzles, so I think I'm going to skip the games. But there are a lot of other things you can do in virtual reality, and I'm only going to show you one of them, the big screen. This was free. So to go to the big screen, you click on this, and we're going to go to big screen. And this is a good place to see video and movies. And they put you in this room here, and this is your home room. And I just used, and they bring up this menu. Uh, let's see. Again, the buttons change to get different menus to come up than what was the case in Oculus Room. This is the big screen home room, and I didn't change anything in here. This comes as default, and you can't change anything in this room. Uh, what you see up on the screen is what is on my desktop. So these are the two programs that I have to use to record this video. Um, Now, to move around in this room, it's similar to what I showed you before. Um, you move the thumbstick forward, you find in this case, you find these green, blue spot that lights up, and then you let go, and now I'm near the fire. But I'm spinning around using my thumbstick. But I don't know why you'd want to sit here because you can't see the video. There's a robotic vacuum cleaner going on. So I'm going to move back to a seat where you could see the video better. Now I click a button on my left controller to bring up this menu, and monitors is what I want to select here because I could change things by pointing to the screen here, but it's easier for me to bring up this little monitor here. And so instead of seeing my two utilities, one's a utility and one's a downloaded program, so that I could record this video like a GoPro, instead of doing that, I'm going to click my, I already set this up before I started this VR experience, click my browser, and it's already set to Amazon Prime Video. And so The idea would be to watch a video instead of whatever else you had up on your computer screen. So once you have your video here, it's in pause mode. You see it's up on the screen. Now this little screen here, you could change the size of it, the curvature, uh, the distance with this little menu here. But you could also do it with these options here too. And you could turn it off. Because once I have this up on the screen here, close this by clicking the button on the left controller. If I use my laser now,
Nu mă mai cheamă așa. M-ai făcut de rușine. Acum mă cheamă Jeffrey Epstein.
so this is the new Borat movie you could watch in this room. But you notice, I just realized this. Let me go back. I don't like those. I just brought up that little screen again. There. So I got rid of the icons at the top of the monitor of my virtual desktop. And so got rid of that menu. Squeeze the trigger, bring up the beam.
All I had left was my livestock. 2 pigs, 1 cow, and a daughter.
Once upon a time.
So you could watch the movie in this nice room. And it's a nicer room than to watch a movie in than my Oculus room. The lights are lower. And it's pleasant. But if I bring up that menu again, back. Now I'm in my room, but you can go to different environments. Like you could see this same movie in theaters, if you want to see it in a theater, for example. But when you do, there's going to be other avatars in those theaters. They won't be watching my movie, but they'll be watching their movie, whatever they want to watch from their computer. But let's go to one of the theaters so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see, which one did I want to pick? Let's pick this modern one. You see, there's other avatars in here, and I don't like to talk because I think they can hear me. I don't know if you can see them, but I can. I'm turning myself around using the thumbstick, squeezing my.
Time, there was a lowly peasant girl called Melania from shithole country Slovenia who dreamed of marrying a rich old man.
Bring up that menu again. Try another theater. The Grand Cinema. There's fewer people. Oh no, there's some people. There's some avatars over there. But this is big. This is a huge theater. Squeeze my trigger on my avatar and click.
לא בחור?
Tati,
רגע, למה את גרה פה? זה רוחך.
защото нямаш кой да ме сложи в златна клетка, като тая кучка Лилия Цаканов.
But you can see there are avatars over there. And bring up that menu again. And go back. Now, I know there's a way to point your controller with that beam at an avatar and mute that avatar if they're talking a lot. But I didn't want to talk in a movie theater where there are other avatars because I don't like to be rude. So I brought myself back home. So now I can talk and not feel like I'm disturbing anybody. But yeah, it's a nice option to watch a movie. And I've watched one, it was a PBS hour and a half series. And it was a pretty good experience. The only problem I have is that I am stuck watching it from my desk chair in my office because it's connected to the computer with a cable. But now these over here, I'm not going to go to them. You can watch the movie in outer space. The bedroom was interesting. If you want to watch a movie from your bed, you go to this space. And when I first came here, I said, "Well, where do you watch the movie?" I'm using my thumbstick to turn around. But then I realized if you look up, you could see the movie. The idea would be if you had a Quest, which is the new Oculus VR headset, you don't need a cord. You just bring the headset. You wear the headset wherever you want in your house, and the idea would be to go to your real bedroom, lie on your bed, and put the headset on. Come here and watch the video from your bed, looking up at the ceiling. Now, again, you can move around using that same option, pushing the thumbstick forward, seeing the blue diamond light up and turn green and moving. But in this case, I don't see the point in doing it because the movie is up on the ceiling near the bed. So I'll bring that menu up and go here. Go to one more theater because I didn't show you in the other theaters. To move, you do the same thing. If you want to change your seat, like I'm over here now, I can. See, it works the same way. You push the thumbstick forward. One of the blue diamonds lights up, and you point to it, and you go. I turned around and I go back to the top. Yeah. So I'm at the last seat in the row. So this is a nice place to watch a movie. go back to home. Um, one thing you could do here is you can grab little gimmicks they have. You can grab, you point to it, and you pull the trigger, and you squeeze the trigger, and you have some popcorn. It's not real popcorn, but you can throw it, and it disappear. It disappears in a few seconds. But they have that now in this program. Just like in my Oculus room, they have a selfie setup thing here, and you press that button, and they give you a stick, a selfie stick, and you can press this button here. Now, in this case, I think you just use your finger. There it goes. You point your finger at that button, and it turns from a selfie to just a regular camera. You grab for some reason that menu went flying away. So I'm grabbing it and I'm moving my arm so it brings it closer. But if you grab the selfie stick, you can move it around. And to get rid of it, let me see if I can get rid of it real quick. You press that button. And then you take you could take a little quick that's a GIF there, like a little movie. So you can take a little movie of yourself in here, but unlike in my Oculus room, you couldn't do that. Get rid of that. Paint, tomatoes. Yeah, I don't know what that streaming cam is. Yeah, this is the way you would set up your avatar in this room. I don't even know if I talked about that already. I think I did. Now, let's just see what this is. Nothing. Click on watch. Now, one of the things they have here are these events, and people sign up for them, but they're not cheap. I'll click on that. $4 a ticket. And they call it an event, but to me, it's just a movie. I don't know why they're calling it an event. Same thing with movie rentals. If you click that, there's 14 screens like this. These are in 3D, but still, if you click one, $5 to rent a 3D movie. Crazy. But I guess people do it. Now, when I say 3D, that that's different from VR, because VR, watching a movie in VR, you're actually in the scene. And I have an app or an app that you can actually see free movies in 180 degrees or 360 degrees, depending on the video or the movie, and you are in the scene, as opposed to a 3D movie, which just gives that effect on a screen. Now, if you click that TV option, you get these these shows that come up, and these are all public. In other words, if you to watch one of these, some of them they put you in a different room than what I'm in here, but they're all public. In other words, there'll be other avatars in there. This room that I'm in now is private, and only I can invite somebody in here. But I noticed that this, let's say, if you wanted to watch the NFL, that's public, even though I've been there and it's the same room physically as this room. Uh, Currently, it has 0, so there's nobody in there. But I clicked it originally when I first tried it, and I thought I was in the same room, thinking it was private. But then somebody, an avatar, popped into it. So even though this, and I'll go to it now so you can see, joining channel. You can see it's the same room. At least to me, it's the same room. I don't know, maybe there's subtle differences. But this is not private. Uh, you know, so
The block.
I turned up the.
Near the one. The extra offensive lineman in there too, Thomas Welch, building the bulk on the line. It's a gain of a yard. Jackson in the backfield. Smith, the tight end, on the move. They're following the lead block of Frank Summers, who's at 5'9", but he's a load and no.
So, if let's say somebody else you knew wanted to have watch a football game with you, you would go through this procedure. I'm sure it's not difficult. You got to get an ID and whatever. Push the ID, put the ID in there so you end up in the same room. I haven't done it, and I wouldn't do it with football because I'm not interested. But I used to live in Rochester, New York, and they would love watch this game because they're big Buffalo fans there. Now, to go back to my room, I would click this. Are you sure you want to go back to my room? Yes. Now you see it's the same room, but now get rid of it. I'm back to seeing the Borat movie, and this is private room. And finally, let me go through watching again. And the only public place I've been to, and there's these rooms here, public rooms that people set up. Some of them are showing movies, and some of them are just chat rooms. I should go to one of them just to see what they're talking about. Some of them, they say you have to be plus 18. But very few of them are going to be 68 like me. So I don't see any reason to go to any of these rooms. Nothing here interests me. But one public place I have gone to is the lobby, which is what I'm pointing to here. And that's, I think, where people who want to see an event or rent a movie together or do anything together, go to one of these rooms, or they meet in the lobby and then they click their menus and go together. But if you go here and click, which I'll do, you will end up in the lobby. Now there'll be other avatars here, I'm sure.
You make a fist and
Or you can high five like this.
Very cool.
Yeah, now you move around the same way if you want.
Hi.
Do you want to see something weird happen to my character?
Go on then.
Watch this.
Does it
Ready?
cost money to go in the movies?
Okay,
No.
I'm watching. Nothing's happening.
Hey, blind pig, look at me.
yes,
And
sir.
Nothing's happening. I'm still watching.
It's worked. He's gone invisible. What the
His
hell?
head and stuff.
So now I can see what's happening. He's lost his hand.
Oh,
and
he's
his
doing
head.
that.
Hey, does it cost money to go in the games? I mean, in the movies?
I just dropped my controllers out of my pocket.
Yeah, it costs money for the films.
I dropped my controllers out of my pockets.
So
and my hand is right here, but it's right here. So.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing.
Oh wait, they're back to normal. Just a drop head thing.
So you can see there are people talking here.
That's really cool.
Not people, avatars talking. And there's some young kids talking. They know more about this than I do. I don't know. They added this pendulum here a couple of
Well, you need
times.
to get the gambling game biz because the young
And
man
that
of 8
I,
needs to know Texas Hold'em and blackjack and all that stuff. Okay.
Okay, I'll install it after I'm done playing.
go back to the room. Yeah, but that's the that was the lobby, and I've had a couple of nice conversations with some adults in that lobby. If it was up to me, I'd kill that electric robot vacuum cleaner because it's annoying, but I don't know how to do that. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you with this program. So I'm clicking the button to go back and kill the big screen program. I don't know what you're seeing, if you're seeing a black background or you're seeing my gray augmented reality office, but I just deleted or stopped the big screen program. And it takes a while for some reason when I come out of big screen for me to go back into my Oculus virtual room. So I'll just have to be patient. But yeah, a lot of these, I'm using my thumbstick to scroll through these other apps. Like I said, most of these were free, and they were sort of interesting to see once. A lot of them are just little half-hour stories in virtual reality. But some of them I paid for and I couldn't complete the game. So, but the big screen was free. This is that virtual reality movie or experience where you actually are in the scene, which is sort of interesting. Some of those are free, but some of them you have to pay for. They have a very reasonable subscription service. But again, I don't think I would. I saw one or two of them and they were pretty well produced, but I don't think I'd make enough use of it to, I think it was like $26 for 6 months to see all of them, and there's many of them. But I haven't decided to spend my money on that. Anyway, that's it for now, and hopefully this did record, because this is not the first time I'm attempting to record this, and that'll be it. So if I bring up my virtual desk, which I tried to do that last time, it didn't work. So that's it. I'll have to, in post processing, I'll have to delete the end of this video and probably part of the beginning, because starting and stopping the video is a little bit cumbersome. But in any case, that's it for now.